Imagine you've had a long day, it's late, and you're finally in bed. You open Instagram, not to look for anything specific, just to scroll aimlessly and let your thoughts drift. You're tired, only half paying attention, completely unaware of what you're about to see next. And then it appears. A collage unlike anything you've ever seen before. It's wrong somehow, but you can't tell why at first. The collage contains a picture of a boy. His face is white like paper. His lips are a deep, vivid red. His eyes are a deep, glossy blue that looks carved out of glass, like it's staring back at you through the screen. The strange and uncomfortable sound effects playing over the image doesn't help, and your skin begins to crawl. You glance up at the username. Truth Sticks 11. There are low interactions with the post, and you've never seen the user before. You don't know why, but you click on the profile. The page loads slowly, as if it's thinking about whether to show you what's behind it, and when it does, you almost wish that it hadn't. The user's bio reads, "Beautiful boy and account looked after by me, a degree-educated mother choosing to stay anonymous. Good original written work, advice and compassion." Their feed is filled with more unsettling collages. There's text over some of them, written in a strange rambling that doesn't make sense. Every image contains that same child, his features greatly exaggerated, stretched, and pulled. You keep scrolling through post after post, and you start to notice a pattern. The newer uploads are heavily edited, drenched in this surreal AI-altered sheen, but as you move further back in time, the images begin to look more human, less filtered, less enhanced, and then real. The pictures near the bottom of the page are unmistakably a real child. Nothing about it seems fictional. It's as though whoever runs this account began with ordinary photos and gradually corrupted them into something else over time. It feels like watching a descent, an artist's slow drift into depravity. At the very beginning of the profile, you find a video and hear a strange, childlike voice calling out another user who is apparently pretending to be a child.
"So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy."
By this point, you've had enough and begin to realize that you don't want to understand the rabbit hole that you've entered. You close the app. Enough internet for one night. The next morning, Instagram has something waiting for you. Something it thinks that you'll like. Another account. The art style is familiar, but the name is different. SmartSchoolBoy9. You pause for a moment. You know you shouldn't click. Nothing good ever comes from this kind of curiosity, but against your better judgment, you click. Initially, it looks like a boy in a school uniform, but the illusion doesn't last. When you look closer, you realize what you're actually seeing. A fully grown man dressed as a child. His face is painted pure white, and his features are exaggerated in a way that feels deliberate and unsettling. Then, he starts doing this. You close the app again, trying to push that image out of your mind. But by now, you're not going to forget what you saw. What you didn't realize then was this wasn't some random encounter. You weren't the first person to stumble across these accounts late at night and unprompted, and you certainly wouldn't be the last. In April of 2024, a post appeared on the subreddit r/Instagram titled "Creepy Accounts Pretending to be Kids." The post reads, "I came across a reel randomly and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps, as I keep trying to look for answers. Attached were the screenshots of the accounts with the usernames Truthsticks11, Girl Chloe 12, and SmartSchoolBoy9. At first, users assumed that they were separate people, different creators, maybe part of a strange, shared trend. But as the community started connecting the dots, it became clear that these weren't isolated pages. They were all part of something much larger. The account Girl Chloe 12 mirrored the Truthsticks profile almost exactly, except this time, the images featured a girl. The visual editing style, though toned down considerably on Chloe's account, was remarkably similar. The captions overlaid on each image would describe their school days, their poetry, and their questionable hobbies. Their similarities were undeniable. Both accounts were supposedly run by their parents, who monitored the child's content. The accounts followed and interacted with each other frequently. Both spoke as though they existed in the same world. And then there were the boots. The same high-heeled mini boots appearing again and again across both accounts. Boots worn by characters made to have their leg length greatly exaggerated, striking poses in uncomfortable positions to look at. Eventually, people began to understand what they were really looking at. These accounts were not art projects, they were fetish content. The disturbing realization came when users began tracing where the original photos had come from. The real children behind these images had been exploited, their pictures stolen from social media, possibly from parents' accounts, then edited, enhanced, desecrated, in an attempt to be provocative. The likeness had been turned into tools for someone else's obsession. The story quickly spread to our internet mysteries, and the community's attention turned toward the third account, the one that tied everything together. SmartSchoolBoy9. Unlike the other two, this account didn't seem to rely on AI or stolen photos. This one used real footage of themselves. He filmed himself dressed as a child, walking to school, coming home from school,
Okay. So, school. School.
and acting out scenarios meant to mimic the daily life of a young boy, despite not being one. His face was painted pure white, his lips bright red, his expressions exaggerated to the point of parody, and of course, he was wearing high-heeled mini boots. All the features used across the accounts, only this time, it was done on himself. Importantly, the account contained videos of the man speaking in a childlike voice. The same voice, which just so happens to be the one that we hear in the very first video on the Truthsticks account.
Hey, let me know if you like school as well. So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
That's when it became clear. The man behind SmartSchoolBoy9 wasn't only imitating these accounts. He was them. He was the voice of both the concerned mother and the child. Every page was another mask in a collection of personas he'd built to live out a fantasy online. But over time, the line between online fantasy and reality blurred. On numerous occasions, he began appearing in public wearing the same makeup and costume, walking through the city streets as if he truly believed the role he was playing. Many suspected that he used these personas to approach minors online, to interact with real children from behind his fabricated identities. Whether that was ever proven or not, the risk alone was enough to cause alarm. As more people began to look into the SmartSchoolBoy account, a troubling pattern began to emerge. Internet sleuths noticed that he wasn't just posting strange videos or eerie collages. He was also following, commenting on, and actively engaging with accounts that belonged to real children. At first glance, the comments themselves appeared harmless. Simple compliments, vague encouragements, but once you understand the individual behind them, every word would give off a predatory undertone. Even more disturbing was the realization that many of the accounts that he controlled were also doing the same thing, leaving comments beneath photos of children, echoing his tone and mirroring his mannerisms. People online began to ask questions that no one could answer with certainty. Was this man truly delusional enough to believe that he was a child? Was it a grotesque performance in an attempt at viral fame? Or was he deliberately building a false identity, carefully constructing an online life designed to bring him closer to the very children he was pretending to be? Whatever the explanation, it didn't matter. If the goal was attention, the line had already been crossed long before the world found him. The deeper the internet dug, the stranger the rabbit hole became. Each new discovery led to another account, another alias, and another bizarre connection. It was soon believed that there weren't only just 3 of these pages, but potentially dozens or even hundreds. The man seemed to be living inside of a story of his own making, a fantasy world where he cast himself as a schoolboy, surrounded by classmates who didn't exist, all within a digital stage that he could control completely. There were signs that he wanted to take this world further, to step outside and make it real. In one particularly disturbing video, he's seen chasing after a boy that he calls Graham, a supposed 10-year-old friend, but it was unclear whether this was something that he filmed himself or a piece of someone else's footage he's stolen and repurposed. In other videos, he overlays his artificial, childlike voice onto real clips taken by school children, pretending he was there and part of it.
Boys, let's go! We're on the double-decker!
It's a nice day.
Double-decker! Let's go! Double-decker!
Wait.
Let's go!
By this point, finding and reporting him became a priority for everyone who was following the case. Luckily, SmartSchoolBoy wasn't so clever after all. On numerous occasions across his profiles, he left behind small but telling clues. He would post images of specific locations, towns, and street names in his poems. All of these posts pointed to one place: England. Safeguarding organizations began issuing warnings. Parents were told to keep an eye on their social media accounts, and eventually, the Greenwich Metropolitan Police publicly acknowledged that an investigation was underway. But shortly after their post was made, it was quietly taken down without explanation. For those still tracking him, 2 names started to surface again and again: Stephanie and David. Stephanie would be the name that he used on multiple different accounts.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. It's September in the year 2024. So I'm back at school. So yeah, bye for now.
He even used the name to play one of his alter egos, even dressing up as a schoolgirl on his SmartSchoolBoy9 account. But the name David was strange. It was never used as a character on his pages, but he did write about David like he was someone else entirely: a father, stepbrother, sometimes even a friend from school. David would never appear in any of his pictures, but would simply linger in the background. Eventually, the dots connected. Investigators on Reddit and Discord traced the clues back to a real person: David Alter, a 59-year-old man believed to be living somewhere in Doncaster, United Kingdom. Thanks to their work, local authorities are now reportedly investigating him, although official statements remain scarce. Some people have speculated that David might be suffering from mental illness and that he may not fully understand what he's done. But even if that were true, the damage he's caused cannot be excused. And if you look closely at his writing, at the articulate and poetic way that he crafts his posts, it's hard to believe that he's unaware of what he's doing. His words reveal someone who is at least of average intelligence, methodical, and disturbingly self-aware. He accuses others of the very things that he himself appears guilty of, weirdly projecting his own darkness outward to hide from it. Most of the accounts linked to him have since vanished, wiped from the platform without a trace, but the internet never truly forgets. And even now, recreations of his pages and characters continue to surface, some made by others so convincingly that it's hard to tell whether he's still out there watching. The story of SmartSchoolBoy9 didn't end when the accounts were deleted. It's just hidden from sight. A strange, unfinished story that remains somewhere between a memory and a myth.